Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi here. I do have a legendary video for you today. Sped it up double time, took about 44 minutes to complete. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit so it doesn't distract everyone. This is a legendary with the Guardian special stuff going on. And it changes gameplay a little bit because if you kill a Guardian, then you can kill things faster. So potentially you could speed through here, but that's just kind of a trap, I think. And you'll see we push through pretty easy in the first couple parts. But as always, there's a lot of overconfidence when you do that. I pretty much ignore the mechanics because sometimes if you have to get a Guardian, that guy is just, or that person is unreachable, so you have to wait for the dynamics or you have to go get him or what have you. And so depending on your builds and everything, I'm just going to sit and do my thing. In this first part, I'm using my skill damage build, and that's the build where you can see on the leftmost icon it puts on a 20% buff to skill damage for 20 seconds, and then when I'm using test subject I get another 20%, so it's like it's either 27 or 20 plus 20, it's either 47% more damage on my skills. And you can see two of my teammates go down, the one's coming up. But they're pushing pretty good. We're going through here at a good pace, especially even better when it's 2 times. And this makes me feel kind of slow and old because I'm switching things and I'm getting ready and they're already beating half the next map before I even get up there. I don't even get all my loot. And sometimes I tell myself, why am I collecting loot still? I'm on my way to level 21 expertise. It's not anything that I want to get. It's just I got to burn up that loot somehow that I get. It fills up. So I'm just using it. And you see we go through this part pretty easy. And this is where things take a turn for the worse. So normally that's one build to get through there. Here I'm going to use my standard Vile Jammer build. And there we go. Was trying to catch the weekly legendary. It's on DCU or DUA, but it's not there. So those guys are going to push really hard. And I'm not going to push very hard. I don't know if you've seen me play this legendary before, but I'm going to pulse from this spot over and over and over. It's very boring for other people in the group, so I understand why people don't want to do it. I hate when I'm in a group and someone gets in the chat and go, hold on, let me do my ultimate. And you got to really play around their play style. Unless they're showing you something new or different. But, someone is, they got a tank build that they want to shine. Oh, there's one guy down. I really don't want to get involved in that. I just want to move through and progress through things. Now we got 2 people down. We're still in this fairly early, but I don't know, as you can see, and there's a third guy just, and we got him up. It's not the end of the world if we have to restart, but I'd rather not restart. And you can see the effects of the Guardian. I'm not going to do, oh, there's guys down again. Not going to do all that damage. All right. So, as we've said before, it doesn't matter if you're in the Guardian and we can kill them faster. If everyone's dead, we can't kill them faster. So this guy comes back in. And so sometimes when all of this happens, there he goes down again. Sometimes when all this happens, I start pressing. And one of the things with this, it's, oh crap, and there I go down. So this guy picks us up, and now I'm like, okay, maximum protection mode. And again, it's just silly. Unless you're going on a speed run, but right, the fact that we get down so much makes it not a speed run anymore. And the only negative in this guardian thing, like I said, if the person that you got to kill never comes in range of anything, then you see a lot of those immunes where, you know, I'm not doing any damage to anyone. I'm eventually going to kill everyone because I'm going to pulse them all. Oh, great. He goes down. Now he's going to come up. And I would hope that he's going to come back in, and he's not. And so there we go. All three down. Pulse on this guy is about 12.5 seconds, so that's the interval you're seeing. It's 12.5 seconds. I've told you before, if I'm in a group where I'm protected in here, I'll throw Seekers as well, and that helps out a lot. But in general, I have found a turret is a better deterrent, even better, sorry, even better than a shock trap. Again, with Vileplumer, shock trap's putting stuff on them, but with a turret, you're putting more stuff. It's more of a deterrent. It's more pressure. So I'm a hard spot here. And so if you're playing, I know that you probably want me to go out and res somebody, but I'm not the one that's overplaying, you know, why do I got to do this? In the past, I would feel no one's telling me to go res them, but I would feel like I should go res them, and then I'd get killed and we'd wipe. And that's just dumb at this point. So I don't do that. I know I could maybe res that one guy. But why not just be safe? I can kill those two guys here in a couple more pulses. And that's what happens. That's the guy that did it first, that went out first and died. And that's what sometimes I don't understand. Especially when when I join a group, I happen to be the leader of this group, but when I join a group and someone sets up all these directives and everything, and then they end up rage quitting because they die on the map that they chose, you know, I think it's silly. Okay, so we get through that part. And I realize at this point what kind of group I'm in. They're going to push, and that's okay. And I'm just going to be the backstop. Like, I'm just not going to let anything get by. And when I mean get by, I mean I'm not going to let us fail because I'm overextending. And that guy runs out and gets zapped right away. And so some of this stuff in coordination, you don't go down, you can put enough DPS on everyone. And so we have a fragmented group, and it's okay. I mean, again, when you think about it, you've seen me play Manning Zoo and Tidal Basin Legendary. They would really penalize you for that. And I don't think I would have survived on a Legendary in Tidal Basin or Manning Zoo if it was just me left. They would have rushed the crap out of me. So I want to appreciate everyone that's been commenting. Someone mentioned that they'd like to see some stuff on the test server. I think on one of the videos I kind of explained that maybe I don't add a lot of value to that because there's a lot of people that already do that. But if you guys want to see something, I'm going to do it. And then maybe you want to get my take on it, or a different take. So I've loaded the test server. and I am going to put that out. I'm going to start playing that this afternoon and see what's going on. If you've seen me play before, normally I just go to that other door and I just pulse. I just sit over there and pulse. And so one of the things I'm looking for in a group as we progress, do people kind of realize what everyone's doing and what their roles are? So we have one guy that's always going to be on the point, and he's got Heartbreaker or something, and he always has a lot of armor. So I'm like, okay, I get where he's playing. He's not just recklessly going out there. He has some idea. The other two people kind of fit in there. So I'm okay. So it's I say, okay, this is how it's going to be. Guys are going to go down sometimes, but it's not the end of the world. They got revive hives, and I'm never going to sweat anyone how they're placed out. They have a revive hive. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of Revive Hive because I notice in my playstyle at least, I overextend a lot in the Legendary. You get so much better if I have healing or a hive or a turret. It's just better for the group than whether I can stay alive. I should just stay alive automatically. So I'm going to do my usual thing where I pulse them from down here. It's a nice mechanic. You can get through here. It's hard to get here solo, but once you got here, you could probably solo the next two areas relatively easy. I will say one thing that it's annoying about myself sometimes when I'm listening back to the videos, and I'll do a thing like or something where I don't know why I'm popping my mouth like that. And that's annoying, so sorry. And then sometimes I'll get stuck on a phrase that kind of links to sentences, or like if I'm making another point and I'll just say that over and over. So I apologize for those two. It's not that I don't notice them. I do when I listen back. But I'm not so anal about it that I'd re-record this stuff. I mean, you're getting the, not raw, but you're getting pretty much what I think about that. I don't mind some things that are scripted, but it always seems scripted. And so, I mean, I'm going to do a video on the video editing between Apple and Android. And I have some thoughts, but I wouldn't script them down. And as I'm doing it, when I sit down to record it and put things together, I'll think of what I'm going to say. And so a lot of times I'm taking a lot of video footage of my gameplay, and sometimes it gets quote unquote stale because I haven't, I don't remember what the gameplay, or it didn't, there's nothing to it. So why did I pick this video? I picked this video because these guys were dying all the time. And it's not perfect, and it's not bad. I don't want anyone to think like every time I go out it's a walk in the park, because it's not. And I think those things are good to see. So like when it happens to you, you're like, okay, it's not so bad. And that's any game. And as I'm branching out to other games, I have a game my son's, 1 second for a rant. So now I go to healing to help these guys out. My sons want to play a game together. So my one son wants to do WoW. So we're playing WoW Classic. I played WoW when it first came out, and it was horrific. It was a good game. Here's what's interesting about WoW. If you like D&D type games, it's a D&D type game that has nothing to do with D&D, so it has none of the mechanics. So what's kind of unique about it, I was thinking the other day, is it doesn't have any of those mechanics. it uses all the same things in theories, and there's rolls and probabilities, that essential stuff, but it's not in the D&D language, so it's not exactly like that. So WoW Classic, WoW when it first came out was very tedious. I went Druid. I had been playing a game called Adran's Call 2. They shut down the servers. We all moved to WoW. We played WoW. I was a Druid, and Druid was broken when it first came out of the box. And I played WoW for a long time. So going back to WoW Classic and the slow leveling is miserable. And WoW's had a thing where they changed the game where it was easy to level, but then it got so complicated. It's too complicated. So my youngest son plays WoW Classic. My oldest son wants to play games, so we're going to do WoW Classic, and I'm going to record some of that. And last night we were leveling up the characters to get everyone to like level 10. And I was just like, this is so slow. And there's just quests that are broken, like go here, then go back to here, and you have no fast travel. And when I first started playing those games back in the day, there was a big premium on, I guess, reality. So one of the games I played was Star Wars Galaxies. And so you'd have to, do 500,000 damage, or, you had to have experience. So as you had experience, it wasn't really level based, it was experience based. So you became better the more you did something. And so that's super tedious. And WoW kind of came out of that same genre. What's nice about the Division is I don't have to have years and years and years of experience using Striker. I can just put on a Striker set and start being a Striker and be relatively effective. Now, do I have the extra 20% bonus armor on my Striker? No, but that's of minimal value. So why do I keep coming back to Division? Is because they get a lot of the gameplay features right. The penalty on death isn't like great. You don't have to run back and get your body and all this other kind of rot. So those are some of the things that make just the gameplay and fast travel make the gameplay good. And it has its, it has its woes. I have a problem with, everyone has a problem with the disconnect. They put it on Steam, and everyone on Steam is complaining about the Division because it disconnects all the time. Welcome to the Division 2, because that's what it does. It doesn't do it all the time, but it will do it once a session, I think. I'll probably load it on Steam and see how that works on Steam, and try to give you a review on that play as well. Well, we're going to go through here, and you can see that the guys come back into the healing. They don't have to, but, so it's kind of an okay thing. We end up developing into a pretty decent team. So don't fret if you get in a group and it kind of, you don't want to be the person. I'm not telling you to stay in a group no matter what. Like, if it's not going anywhere, it's not going anywhere. But don't be a person that you quit. Don't start a legendary unless you, on a DUA or any of the 3 first legendaries, it's a half hour to an hour. I did one in like 22 to 25 minutes, but it's a half hour to an hour. It's more like 45 minutes. And on Manning Zoo and Tidal Basin, you're going to be at least an hour. Again, depending, you're more often be longer than less. So don't give up. You can see that I routinely change where I normally start all these groups where this is the group I'm going to be DPS, and I'm going to show everyone on YouTube my DPS, and then something happens. I'm like, okay, let me help us get through this. That's still coming. I started playing Tip of the Spear the other night because I like using my weapon. So I know I'm supposed to get a Striker, but I'm really loaded up at Tip of the Spear. So thank you again. Hopefully the next thing you'll see is either test server stuff or more Dark Zone. I'm leveling up my Dark Zone character outside of Dark Zone. I started playing my level 9 or level 10 hardcore character on this account, so I might do some of that. I kind of like that gameplay, even though it 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 ripped me off. So again, thanks everyone. Everyone's been great. I hope everyone's having a great start to New Year. I am. Everyone on the contributing to the channel with their comments and views and everything, I really appreciate it. So thank you again. Hope you have a wonderful day. Ronan Kazi signing off.